everyone, thanks so much for joining me again for another week of Pilates plus Physio. You just need your yoga mat and your brick. So let's get going. So start off, feet just about hip width apart, gently open out through the hips. Think of opening the shoulders, tuck in the chin. Imagine that balloon coming from the back of your head, just taking you up towards the ceiling. And then just start gently rocking to the front of your feet, and then more weight coming back onto the heels. See if you can keep your feet in contact with the floor all of the time. So you're just coming forward and back. And again, just gently coming forward. Getting cramp in my foot now, and back. And then come back into the center. Even weight front and back on your feet, and then just take your weight more over onto your right leg and then back over onto the left leg. And again, weight over onto the right, over onto the left, and then maybe think about just rolling right the way around the edge of your feet. So imagine you're standing on like a round board with a knob in the middle of it, and you're just taking that board right the way around its edge. So just going all the way around, up the side of your foot, cross the toes, down the other side, back through the heels, and then switch direction, up the outside of your foot, little toe to big toe to little toe, down the side of the other one. And just coming right back into the center. Hands on the thighs, and maybe just rub all the way down the front of your legs. Nice and brisk all the way back up. All the way down the sides. Back up. All the way down over the glutes. Back of the thighs, back of the knees, down to the calves if you can. Across your tummy. Up the outside of one arm. Down the inside, up the outside of the other one, down the inside. Just waking up the skin if you like. So rub the hands together, nice and brisk. Keep rubbing your hands together. Take them all the way up towards the ceiling. And then keep rubbing them together all the way down towards the floor. Press into your feet. Uncurl all the way back up, hands right up towards the sky, right down towards your feet. Good, when you're down there, now just let the arms dangle, let the head dangle, couple of big breaths, and then scoop in the tummy, press your feet into the floor, unfurl all the way back up, keep going with the fingers, right up towards the ceiling. And then bring the arms out to the sides so you're in like a nice capital T shape. Really reach your fingers right out nice and long, take up lots of space. Right hand down to your side, left hand going up towards the ceiling, a bit like a windmill. And then bring the left arm down, back to your nice T shape. Right hand all the way up towards the ceiling, left hand down by your thigh. So nice big side stretch. And going again. Lengthen right out through the fingertips. Left hand going up towards the ceiling, right hand down to the floor. Keep that feeling of really pressing into your feet. And back up. One more, right arm up towards the sky, left hand down towards the floor. And come back. Both arms now out in front. Think of holding that big beach ball, and you're just opening the arms right out to the sides, like you're going to give somebody a big hug, and coming back into the front. So even weight through the feet, opening right out through the arms, and coming back. And maybe this time, keep one arm in front of you, take the other one right round behind you, as if you were reaching for something behind you. Grab it and come back to the front. Other arm, right the way round and come back. So getting that nice twist, feel that twist happening all the way down through your body. So you're turning your head, arm going behind you, reach for something, come back to the front. See if you can feel it happening in your feet. So as you twist left, more pressure on the outside of the left foot, pressure on the inside of the right. And going again. And just going one more. And come back. Good. Bring the arms down. We're going to do a little bit of balancing, so if your balance isn't great, stand near something to put a finger on. So stand nice and tall. Press into your right foot. Think of a string coming from your left knee. Just taking your knee up towards the ceiling. So really push that right foot down. Feel that foot on the ground. Doesn't matter if you're wobbly. Aim not to hold on, just have something there to grab if you need it. Swap legs. So press that left foot into the floor. Think of that little string on your right knee, folding that leg up towards the ceiling. Good, good. Come back onto the first leg. And this time just start moving things around. Anything you want. You could do the arms up towards the ceiling. You could do reaching forward with one arm, reach forward with the other. You could go down to touch the floor, back up to the ceiling. You could reach right out sideways. You could wobble. You could do sort of swimming with the arms, going forwards. You could do swimming going backwards. Just really trying to get that balance mechanism switching on through your feet, through your ears, through your eyes. Great. Swap legs. So feel the foot on the ground, stand nice and tall, bring the knee up, and then just start to move, whatever you want. You could reach up, think of picking an apple, pick an apple the other side, down to the floor, get the washing out the basket, hang it on the line, reach sideways, move the leg, could do the twist. Far down one can go. Anything you feel like, just get balancing. Lovely. Okay. Just need to stop now. So pop both feet back on the ground. Maybe come and stand at the end of your mat. And chin down to your chest. You're going to roll down towards the floor and come down onto hands and knees, all fours. So pop your hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Remember, you could put a towel or something underneath your knees if they're a bit bony. Press your hands right into the floor. We'll just do a little bit of a cat stretch. So tuck the chin in, arch your back up towards the ceiling. And then drop your tummy down, look forward. And then scoop in the tummy, tuck your tail underneath. Arch up. Nose going along the mat, coming out in front. Lovely. Back into all fours. Just take your knees as wide apart as the mat, big toes together. Hands a little bit further forward. Bottom all the way back to your heels. So nice child pose, just really stretching things out. Remember, if your knees don't like it, you could curl on your side. Bring your knees to your chest. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Good. And then come back up onto hands and knees. Bring the knees together. Bend the elbows, come down so that you're lying on your tummy. Legs about hip width apart, feet down flat if you can. Hands just a little bit wider apart than your shoulders, so maybe just sort of on the edge of the mat. Press into your hands, come up into a yoga cobra. And come down. So you're thinking of peeling your chest away from the floor. Press into the hands. So you could combine that with your breath. So you could breathe in as you come up and breathe out as you go down. And again, breathe in as you come up and breathe out as you go down. Lovely. Pop your hands underneath your forehead. So just imagine you're lying on a nice hot sunny beach on the sand. Nice sound of the waves. And you're just breathing into the back of your ribs here. So just think of the air going right down into the back of the lungs. Especially if you've had sort of respiratory problems, chest problems, you want to get the air going right back. So the lungs come almost down as far as your waist at the back there. So you want to really get them filling up with nice, clean oxygen. Shoulders, just think of sort of snuggling the shoulder blades down your back a little bit. Elbows on the floor. Great, okay. Clench your bottom, little kicks up and down with the legs. So swimming leg, little kicks up and down. Think of really lengthening and reaching through the feet. So make your legs as long as you can. Keep breathing. Tummy just gently lifting away from the mat. So lower tummy just gently scooping in. Great, okay. Rest the legs down, maybe just wriggle your bottom from side to side a little bit, just loosen off all the way up. Through the legs, through the hips, through your back. Good, okay. And then forehead on the mat, fingertips just above your head touching. So middle fingers, index fingers probably touching, elbows on the ground. So you're making a diamond shape with your arms. Forehead on the floor. So shrug your shoulders up to your ears, slide your shoulders down your back, take your hands and forearms off the floor, hold there and down. So shoulder blades down your back to start with, elbows staying on the ground, both hands together, just float the arms up. So your wrists are staying straight. Quite often people just bend their wrists back. So think of the wrists and hands in a straight line with your forearm. Hold there and down. Nice one if you've got sore shoulders. Nice one for if you've got a stiff, tight neck. It's often because your shoulder muscles aren't doing what they should be doing, so your neck muscles try to sort of take over. Just also want to watch that you're not pressing like mad with your forehead into the ground. So you're making those muscles around the back of the shoulders do the work. Going a couple more if you can. Lift and hold. And down. And again, lift and hold. And down. Great. Place your hands back underneath your forehead. Tuck your toes underneath. Push the back of your knees up towards the ceiling. So knees pushing up. Hold there. And release down. So you're really getting the knees as straight as you can. Toes tucked underneath. Press the knees back. Hold there. And down. If you want to progress that a little bit, press both knees up. Take one leg an inch or two higher. Hold it there. And down. Take the other leg a little bit higher. And down. Let the knees drop. So push back with both knees. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. Use your buttock. One leg off. Hold it there. Toes pointing down to the ground if you can. And release. Other leg off, hold it there. And release. Knees down. And again, press back. One leg off, not too high. Hold it there. If you give your buttock a prod, it should be really nice and firm. A bit like a bit of old overcooked beef. And down. And on the other side. And down. Lovely. Rest both knees down again. Give yourself a bit of a wriggle. We're going to do front of the thigh stretch, preferably lying on your tummy. If you know that upsets your back, you could turn onto your side and bring your heel up towards your bottom. Otherwise, reach behind you, grab your foot, ankle, trousers, whatever you can. See if you can make sure that you're actually keeping your leg in a straight line, so you're not bringing the leg out to the side. Heel to your bottom. Should be a firm stretch down the front of your thigh. If it's burny, pins and needlesy, maybe come off a little bit. Keep that feeling of pressing the front of your hip into the ground. As you breathe out, see if you can just ease into that stretch a little bit further. Good, good. Let that release. Swap legs. So if you're on your side, you need to turn over onto the other side. Grab your foot, ankle, trousers, shin, heel up towards your bottom. Keep the tummy just gently scooping in. Front of your hip pressing down into the ground. Next out breath, see if you can just ease into that a little bit more. Lovely, that's good. Let that release. Hands underneath your shoulders, push up so you're onto your knees. Bottom straight back to your heels again, so give things another stretch out the other way. Knees together this time. Big toes together, so you're getting a nice full bend almost through your hips, full bend through the knees, feet pointing as much as they will. And then come back up onto hands and knees. We're going to do a figure four stretch. If you're not happy doing it on your tummy, you could turn onto your back and do the stretch where you put your ankle onto your knee and thread through and pull the thigh up towards you. Otherwise, slide your left leg forward, left knee forward. So left knee going to the left edge of the mat, left foot to the right edge of the mat. So you're getting your shin going across the mat, yeah? Slide your right leg back. Drop down onto your elbows. You can get your forehead down onto the floor if you can, mine's nowhere near. Let the shoulders just release. Should be a good firm stretch in that left buttock. So if you can feel where it's tight, and it doesn't sound too mad, just think of breathing into that tightness. So just as you breathe in, think of that tightness letting go a little bit. And as you breathe out, it lets go even more. And see if you can just sink down towards the floor a little bit. So if you're on your back, you've put one ankle onto the opposite knee. You've threaded your hands through the thigh and you've pulled your knee up towards your chest. So back of the buttock stretch. If your knees don't like this one or your hips don't like it. Great, okay. Press, come up onto your hands again maybe. Uncurl that leg, slide the left knee back, slide the right knee forward. Going to take your right knee to the right edge of the mat. Right foot across to the left edge. You might find one hip's quite a lot tighter than the other one. Slide the left leg back, drop down onto your elbows. Let your head drop to the floor if it will. Left foot down flat if you can. That just releases some of the tension. If you've got your toes tucked underneath, it tends to sort of tighten up through the whole leg. Breathe into that tightness. Lovely. Come back up onto your hands and maybe just sort of roll onto that right hip. Bring the left leg round. So you come so that you've got your feet out in front of you. Knees bent, feet down flat. Think of holding a great big beach ball out in front. Tuck in the chin and you're just going to slowly as you can, roll down towards the floor. If you need to grab your legs to slow you going down a little bit, feel free. So you're coming right down onto the floor. Legs right out straight. Take your hands back over the top of your head. Lovely big stretch. Let the hands go all the way back to the floor if you can. Great, okay. Bring the arms down. Slide the legs back up. Knees bent, feet down flat. Pop your hands underneath your head. We're just going to do an oblique curl up. If you're not happy doing that, if you've got a sore neck, you could do a knee roll from side to side. So tuck in the chin. Keep the elbows back and wide. Think of coming up and across, front of your shoulder towards the opposite hip. And release down. Little chin nod, feet down flat, up and across to the other side. So crisscross tummy muscles doing the work. Up and across. And down. Up and across. So one elbow staying back on the floor, other one back where you can hardly see it. You could add in bringing your knee, think of your knee going towards the front of your shoulder. So opposite knee, as your left shoulder comes up and across, think of the right knee coming towards your left shoulder. That just gets sort of lower crisscross tummy muscles working a bit better. Just keep going. Nice and controlled, nice and smooth. You're not jerking. Just really getting those tummy muscles switching on. And just one more. Great, okay. Rest your head down, pop your arms down by your side. Just think of taking your nose in little tiny circles going around one way. About the size of a ping pong ball, so not big, great, graunchy circles. And then knees going around the other way. And back into the middle. Slide one leg right the way down flat, toes up towards you, slightly turn the foot out, pelvis nice and level, lift that leg up off the floor and pop it down. So think of having, like one of those snooker triangles that you put the balls in before you start playing. That's sitting on your lower tummy. You've got one ball in the middle of it and that is staying completely still. So as you lift and lower that leg, the whole pelvis doesn't rock from side to side. So you want to think of really anchoring the back of your pelvis onto the mat. Just keep breathing, normal breathing. Lovely. slide that leg back in, slide the other one down flat, toes up towards you, foot turned out, lifting and lowering that one. Pelvis staying level. Could sort of combine that with your breathing in as you come up, breathe out as you go down. That's great. Okay. Take that leg all the way down, bring it back up. Legs down a little bit straighter if you can. Both hands to the roof. Take them back over the top of your head. Bring them back up. You can either turn onto your side now and come up into sitting, or bring the arms down. Think of that big beach ball in your hands. You're lifting your head, looking down over the knees, rolling all the way up. Sit nice and tall at the top. Bring the legs round. Come into a nice cross-legged position. Tuck the feet right in. Let the knees just drop. Think of sitting tall, so right up on your bottom bones. If you're a bit stiff through your back and your hips, you could pop your bottom up on the brick or folded up towel just to lift you up a little bit. And then pop your right hand onto your left knee, left hand behind you. Sit tall, just a little bit of a twist round to the left. Again, as you breathe out, see if you can go a little further. And come back to the front. Left hand onto your right knee. Sit tall. Right hand going to the back. Twist and look behind you. Get the ribs kind of moving as you breathe. Lovely. Come back into the center. Come up into standing slowly. Feet flat down on the floor. Let's just do a couple more roll downs. See if things have loosened off since you started. So tuck in the chin. Let the knees go soft, roll right down, let the head dangle, let the arms dangle, so think of you as like a puppet without any strings on it. Then draw the tummy in, press your feet into the floor, so you're trying to get energy coming all the way up through your body as you come up. And again, just rolling down. Lower tummy, pelvic floor muscles drawing up and in. Roll down. Dangle there. Draw in and fall right the way back up. Slide the shoulders up and just let them drop. There we are. Thanks very much for joining me, everybody. Hope to see you again next week. Keep going with the exercise. Keep walking. Bye-bye.